little beauties, and welcome to this special little sort of farewell video. I'm off. I'm going to be heading off to somewhere in the south of France for a week. Now, those of you who follow my life will know that I cannot afford a toaster right now, but somebody, well actually my lady Wonder Wench was good enough to buy the tickets, so I may as well head off for a week. And don't I need a break? I haven't really had a proper holiday for more than 5 years. And it gets to the point where your knuckles get sore and your eyes and everything. So I'm sort of not looking forward to it. I'd be happier staying here actually. But I suppose it'll be good for me, Maybe that's something I should do. So before I go away, we have a new member of David's Insider Club. It's Joe! Ding, 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 ding. Ahoy to you, Joe, and welcome. We also have Mr. Mark here. Ahoy, DC. Do more tutorials on Trongate. Thank you. I may not. I don't know. I would like to have other people do tutorials, actually. But I'm sure something will be out there. We have Terry, Civil Watch Austin. There's an interesting name. And ahoy to you, Terry. It's a new name. Ding, 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 ding. And we have the great Stefan Hummel, pillar of the community. Nice to see you, Stefan. Now, just to be clear, folks, this is not a watch channel. This is I suppose you could say a coding channel. I would say web development, but I think the web development industry's on its ass. But it's a coding channel, But I do like watches. And since I'm going on holiday for a week, I thought I would invent a brand new tradition. That's right. I've seen people online, various different people, claiming ownership of the wristwatch check. Who invented the phrase? Who was the first? Now, there's a question. Who was the first person on YouTube to say the phrase wristwatch check? And by the way, I don't have anything just now. Well, I don't know who was the first, but I've actually heard it was TGV from Urban Gentry, and I've also heard it was Archie Luxury. Does anybody know? Who did the first wristwatch check? Anyway, forget that. Here's the new watch tradition. Maybe somebody's already thought of it, but if they have, they take the credit, but if not, I shall take the credit. So the new tradition is the holiday watch. Now, I had a look at the Just One More Watch channel, and he chose about 5 watches to take on his holiday. I think that was like wimping out. And as of today, I am declaring that the holiday watch choosing is officially a sacred ritual. And my friends, you can only choose one watch. That's the holiday watch ritual. Patent pending. You heard it here first. So, that's the vibe, right? When you head on holiday, you choose one watch. I don't know if anyone's done it before. If they have, that's fine. But if not, it's a brand new tradition. So I have chosen 10 watches from my collection. And here they are. And with your help, we're going to go through these little beauties here. We're going to have a vote on it. And today, within the next 25 minutes or so, hopefully, we shall choose the sacred holiday watch. And who knows, maybe the plane could go down. And this could be the very watch that I die in. You never know. So that's what the vibe's going to be. Now, I have to tell you, I did not hold back. Some of these watches are very, very special. And if you added all of the value up with all of these incredible watches, you would be talking about at least £150. About £150 at least. So we're going for the jugular with this. And I do hope that you'll help me to choose the sacred holiday watch. Now, by the way, I've put a whole lot of thought into this. My ideal holiday watch would be something where the time is really clear. Obviously, it's good for airports and stuff, but also something that's a little bit under the radar. We don't want to, if we're going to strange places, we don't want to attract the wrong attention. We don't want to get mugged or anything like that. So we don't want anything too show off. However, it would be nice if we could get something a little bit respectable as well. My ideal holiday watch, which is not in the rack, would be something like the following. Now this is what I think the perfect holiday watch is, by the way. This is a Seiko Kinetic. Look at this little beauty here. And if you look at the back, you'll see that it's an automatic. You can see we've got our little rock and roller here. But look really closely. And around about the 1 o'clock position, you'll see a little round circle. That is a battery. Do you see it up there? And so the idea is that when you move, it charges the battery. And if you stop moving, it stops, you know. But I think that this is the perfect holiday watch because it's just... There's something about it. It reminds me of the movie Firefox. I Don't Know Why by Clint Eastwood. You know, it has that... There's something about it, you know. But anyway, that would be my idea of the perfect holiday watch. And if you're walking a lot, the movement thing's going to be good for this as well, you know. Or the walking will be good for this. However, unfortunately, I can't take this one because it's not mine. This belongs to my incredibly mysterious and successful programmer friend who I sent a video last night showing him a prototype of an app that I'd made and he hasn't got back. Guess he never liked it. Anyway, this is his watch. I changed the strap. His original strap's here, don't worry, just to see how it would look. But I think it would be unethical of me to take his watch, so I'm not going to take this one, okay? Funnily enough, he knew that I liked the watch and he phoned earlier in the week and he says, I got you one of them. So apparently he's bought one of these, but it's the one with the green face. So that'll be cool. And he says he's going to come up in about 10 days' time. So who knows, maybe I'll have one of these for myself. To have very high caliber friends. Thank you, mysterious and highly successful programmer friend. All right, so let's talk about the watches, the candidates that I have dug out here from a pool of about 65, you know. And here they all are. And as we do these, I won't be offended if you shout out the price or if you tell me that it's rubbish or anything like that. Let's get going. And here is candidate 1. Now, this one is the Patek Philippe in rose gold, which costs about £250,000. Homage. It's the homage of that. So yeah, this is a little Lig Ziggy. I picked it up from AliExpress and it's absolutely beautiful. It cost 45 quid and it was one of the very first ones I got. But it's really, really rock solid. It's fully automatic, you know. It's very reliable. And it's just a beautiful little watch. I've promised a few of the channel members that I'm going to buy these and post them to them. Dan, Stefan, Simon, I believe. Guys, I haven't forgotten. You guys are going to get one of these because it's absolutely beautiful. I bought one of these and gave it to another friend a while ago, shortly after I got this. And he told me that whenever he goes out with this, he gets quite the reaction. I headed into the local shop with this, and the guy says with a straight face, "Are you one of those secret millionaires?" You know. Anyway, here it is here. It's a little bit on the flashy side. Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? But I do like it. And I can also tell you that of all the watch faces that I've tried, this is probably the clearest. You know, it's really, really great for that. We've got a little date window as well. That is candidate number 1. The downside, and let's get it out the way, if you're going to get mugged for wearing a watch, it's going to be for wearing one of these, because even up close, it just looks perfection. It's not a replica or anything, perfectly legal, you know. But, the wrong way around. Yeah, it's dangerous territory, actually, so that is probably the downside. It's also really heavy, so I don't know if that's a good thing. All right, now let's call that candidate 1. And now we're going to have candidate 2, which is this little beauty here. We are, of course, talking about the... it's the Cartier tank. But of course, Cartier tanks are yesterday's news. So I decided to get this one instead. For the incredible... it's a Guedio, or a Guedio. And it's quartz. And you know how much this one cost? This watch costs £1.50. It's one of the cheapest watches I've got. But it's absolutely beautiful. I love the design, and strangely enough, you would never think that the rectangular type thing, the Roman numerals and all that, you wouldn't think it would work in terms of just a timepiece, but it's really up there. It's so clear, you'd never guess, and there's just something about it. Did you know that the equalizer is clearly a homage to the Cartier tank? Did you know that the equalizer, as played by Edward Woodward, wore a Cartier tank? He actually wore the Cartier tank Must. Is it D? Anyway, the cheaper one. So this is kind of the same vibrational level. It's only £1.50. Little quartz thing. I kind of like it. I think it's got a sophistication to it, you know? But, well, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't go swimming or anything with this, but it does have a leather strap, or maybe a cardboard strap, that might just disintegrate in the sun. Who knows? But that would be candidate 2. Now, I'll go through the first row here, and we'll just batter through these as quick as we can. Next up, the most honest watch of the collection, and it is a little Citizen, I believe it's called a Citizen Chandler. And here it is here, Eco Drive. And what is going on with the date? Oh, it's the hands in the way. Okay, it's fine. Nothing wrong with it. So this is it here, little solar powered number. We do have a day date there hiding behind there. It's kind of simple. This strap is only 18 millimeters, and I think it's a 38 millimeter diameter. So it's not very big, but you know, there's an honesty to it. And it's as solid as a rock, and it's reliable. It's got the day. Maybe this could be a candidate. All right. Number 2, another little homage coming at you here. This is an Air King homage. Are you eager for a Bleeger? Well, that's what this one is. I actually have mixed feelings about this one. I like the diameter on the green on it. Green is, of course, the colour that attracts wealth, and I could do with some of that. So I like that. I like the look of it, but there's a couple of things that I don't like, just to let you know. It's automatic, this one. Somebody told me this, and once you know, you can't get it out of your head. The number 5 appears a gazillion times on this dial here. As soon as you become aware of it. How many is that? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, you can do the counting. There's that. And as embarrassing as it is to say, I sort of struggle to tell the time with this one on. But nevertheless, it's quite robust. I think it could handle a shot of the swimming pool. I like the Mercedes style hands. Maybe this one could be the one. All right, we're only 4 in. Now, next I've got one of the favourites. If I was doing seeding, I think this one could have a good chance. This is, I believe, an English company, and it's a Proxima. Now, strictly speaking, this is one that belongs to my highly successful programmer friend, but he would be okay with this. I think if I did take this one, he would understand. And This is a dive watch, but it's incredibly special because it's really, really thin. Unbelievably thin, actually. And we've got a fully rotating bezel and everything. It is automatic. I'm quite proud of this one because when I first got my hands on it, it was broke and I managed to fix it. So I'm sort of quite proud of this little one here. Strictly speaking, it's not mine, but I know that Dave would be okay if I took this one away. It's got a rubber strap. It's like a tank. It's not going to break. Of all the watches I've got, I think this one suits me the best. And it's probably because my skin's so white. But, you know, it's got a white face. It's really cool. The only downside with this watch, just so you know, is that it suffers from rollover. You know, even if you wear it quite tight, it does this. It tends to roll over like this, you know. And it's funny because here on YouTube, you get a lot of videos where people talk about the lug to lug, like here to here. And you see a lot of people speaking as if a high lug to lug is bad and a low one is good. Well, this is a really low lug to lug, this watch. But I'm not a fan of that because you do get this problem. Like it rolls over all the time, you know. So that's the only downside, but it is as solid as a rock. This could survive anything, I think. And it's just kind of beautiful, you know. I just like it. It's so smart. It's so thin. Really, really nice, well-made watch, that one. All right, we're going to go to the end of the first row and then we're going to vote. So the last one is ding 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 ding. That's right. It's a Rolex Submariner Homage. This watch cost £3.50, but I really like it. It's quartz. Here it is. It's unbranded. Doesn't even have a logo on it. It's quartz. You're not fooling anyone. Nobody who knows anything about watches is going to think for a second that is a real Submariner. Nobody's fallen for this, right? But at the time I got it because I was curious to just see what the legibility was like on something like this. I was curious, you know. I never did like the Mercedes hands and stuff. I'd seen it online and I was just kind of like, is that something you could work with? And the answer is yes, you can. It is actually a pretty legible watch and a good all-rounder. Would I get the real one? Probably not, but this is, of all the watches I've got, this is the most comfortable. The strap is brilliant. I mean, £3.50, you'd never even know you were wearing this. Very, very comfortable. Quartz, so it's as reliable as you get, and it's very nice. I don't think I would get a real one though, if I'm being honest. But I do like it, and I think it's just really well made, you know. All right, so that is the first row. I hope you're all paying attention because now we're gonna vote. Doc's report is here, and he says, link an automatic. You want a link to the... Hello, Doc's report. How are you? I should say hello. Nice to see you. Welcome. Anyway, shall we do the vote? All right, let's set this up then. Now, okay, let me just get my act together here. So how on earth do we do a vote here? Start a poll. Okay, so we're going to say... Let's go with... Now, hold on. How are we going to do this? All right. They're all homages, right? So I'm going to just say Patek homage. And I'm going to say Tank homage. And then I'm going to say... Citizen. That's not a homage. That's an honest watch. Then we're going to have... the Bleeger, that's the Air King homage. I'll do a capital H here. And that's all I can fit in the poll. So it's vote time. Nice to see you, Doc's Report. Let's start the vote. Okay, folks, so it's the first row here we're talking about. I'm going to give you a reminder of them. It's the first row here. We have, is my thing up here? Okay, so we've got the very poncy Patek homage. We've got the little £1.50 Cartier tank thing, which I quite like. We've got the very honest citizen that's not really trying to pretend to be anyone. We've got the Air King, which I like, but I struggle to read. And that's the first four. That is the vote. The vote is here. So I'm going to wait a minute or two with that. And we'll see how that goes. In fact, let's... I was looking around to have a watch here. I'll time 1 minute, okay? 1 minute. Let me do this properly. And then we will declare a winner. All right. Okay, I've got 1 minute on, so please do vote. It's the first row, just so you know. And we're talking about the £250,000 homage. We're talking about the Cartier tank homage. We're talking about the very honest, not trying to fool anybody, but does a good job citizen. And we're talking about the Air King thing by Beleaguer, which really is very well made, you know. But I just struggle reading the time with it. So that is the vote, and we've got 20 seconds to go. If you have any comments or suggestions, do let me know. We have 30 in here. It's ahoy to 30. Ahoy to Doc's Report. Ahoy to the Great Capsule. Ahoy to Tea and Tickers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Tea and Tickers has a channel, you know. And so has Doc's Report. Leave channel links if you want, folks. If you can. We have the Great Vincent in full formation. Ahoy to you, Stefan. They're all here. Nice to see you. Thank you very much indeed. And let's blow the whistle on this with a whopping 67% of the vote. You have spoken. And you have said... You know, I once did a seminar. I advertised in the papers and everything. And at the end of the seminar, I did a questionnaire. One of the questions is, would you attend the seminar again? Or would you recommend it to a friend? And I remember going home, somebody said, how did it go? I said, it's really great. And they said, how did the questionnaire go? I said, 67% said that they would recommend the seminar to a friend. And I think it was my mum said, okay, so only 3 people turned up. I said, aye. So much for Gumtree. Let's blame Gumtree for that one. All right, you have spoken. It's the citizen. Very interesting. Very interesting. Now, keep in mind, I may be meeting some family here, so I have to impress, you know. I like it as well. But is it a bit too down market for a man of my calibre? All right, well, let's move on to the next 4. Now, I've only got 2 more to introduce here. Then we'll go straight into the vote. So the next one is going to be watch number 6. It's Homage City USA here. And this is what have we got here? This is you can see the problem with it straight away. Do you see all of that reflection? That is not bad camera work. It's a real problem with this. So if anybody wants a quick review of the Pagani Omega wannabe, there's your review. Nice looking watch, but a really unfortunate reflection. It's just a shame, you know. But nevertheless, rotating bezel, everything else is cool about it. I think it's quartz. I think it's battery powered, but it's that one. I don't know the name of it, but it's a sort of Omega wannabe. You can see straight away that the reflection is just killing us here. But there you go, okay? All right, so the next one is... oh yeah, I found this one in the wardrobe just the other week. This is just a little Casio. I don't even know what kind it is. But I thought it might be worth consideration, because if you look at the top here, it actually has a tide graph. Do you see that little wavy thing at the top? That is a tide graph. So I could use this thing to figure out if the tide's coming or going. Who would have thought? A little tide graph. And I thought maybe that could be cool, you know. And who knows, maybe if I go jogging or something, I could use this. So that would be the next one. And it's vote time. It's vote time already. So let's have a quick recap of the next ones. Now, this is a red hot favourite to me. This is really great. Technically, it's not mine, but I think my friend would be okay with it. It's the Proxima dive watch. Very thin, very unusual. To give you an idea, Urban Gentry guy was on saying that he thinks that small dive watches are a new trend. I think he's right. This is the size of an Omega dive watch. I mean, okay, it's a homage, but it's accurate. The size is accurate. Now look at the comparison. Look at the comparison if I hold them together. Do you see that? If I move myself out the way. And I'm not, it looks as if I'm holding this further back. I'm not. They are the same. So watch number 5 would be this little beauty here, the white Proxima, okay? That's watch number 5. Solid as you like, rubber strap, can handle everything. Watch number 6, the You Ain't Fooling Anybody, £3.50 Rolex wannabe. You're really not fooling anybody, but it's very comfortable. And it has clarity, you know? So that would be the next one. Moving on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Watch 7 is this one here, which has everything going for it except the glass. It's just killing me that. I wish it had anti-reflective. And watch number 8, the humble but potentially useful little Casio with its tide graph. These are the watches. Let's have a quick vote, and here we go. So here we go. So I need to set this one up here, right? So we're going to have starting poll, round 2. So it's going to be, let me just get this right. It's going to be the Proxima White Diver. Then we're going to have, I'll show you the screen so you can see what I'm looking at here. So we're going to have that. We've got the Rolex wannabe, which will annoy a lot of people, I'm sure. We've got the orange Glare Glaremeister. Is that how you spell Meister? Probably not. And then we've got the Casio Tide chart watch. And I think that's it. Okay, so round 2, here we go. It's round 2. Now remember, we do have a winner from the previous round, which is the Citizen Chandler. So let me know what you think. I've got a pretty good idea about which one I think's the best out of the bunch. You can probably guess. I think it is, Certi says, is it an Omega Planet Ocean homage? That sounds familiar. I think it is. I really, really like this. I would get the real one. It's one of the ones that I would get. I would completely get the real one. But, I mean, even from there, you can see the problem. I'll show you this in comparison to one that's got anti-reflective on it. And I'll do a side-by-side, and it's night and day, you know. It's a real shame. But yeah, you're absolutely right, I think, Certi, and thank you very much indeed. So let's see what we got here, folks. It's this sacred holiday watch choice. What a miserable bunch. Hardly anybody's voting. Well, too bad. I'll give it 1 minute. And then, no I won't. I'll just call it the winner. Okay, 2 votes. Yeah, the Proxima's winning it. There's no question about it. The Proxima is winning it. Thank you very much indeed, folks. I can see that coming in. Proxima walked the park there, actually. We now have 2 finalists for the sacred, do you hear me, people? The sacred holiday watch. And don't forget, you're only allowed to take one. And someday, I want to see you guys doing a video. That's right. Even all of you watch characters. And if you take more than one watch, I'm going to be calling you a wimp. because I think that we really have to set the rules here, you know. It has to be one watch, right? All right. So we've only got 4 more to go then. The next one is, oh, look at this. It's a fabulous, here's my little tray, it's all getting messed up. But the next one is a fabulous Rolex Explorer. That's right, oh, hang on a second. No, it's not. It's a little Rolex Explorer homage. It's a Cadison, but it's really, really well made. And in fact, from a statistical perspective, you're going to hate me. You are going to hate me. But I believe that from a statistical perspective, this could give the real Rolex a good run for its money. And why? Well, it has a whole load of bells and whistles and it's automatic and all of that. But the main thing is, it does have, unless I'm very much mistaken, an anti-reflective, I think the word's crystal, which I don't know if the real Explorer has got. But this is kind of a cool watch, you know. The only thing that I don't like about it, and this is me being a bit superstitious, there's been a couple of times I've had it on and I've forgotten, like I've done that, oh, it's 3 a.m, you know, and things like that. I know it's hardly a scientific thing, but there's that. I think it's also a wee bit boring, you know. But nevertheless, that is our next candidate, okay? Now, the next one is a really interesting little one. It's an Orient. It's a little Orient here. Now, I'm going to level with you here. 1 year ago, I did not know what a bezel was. I'm not a watch guy, definitely not a watch expert. I had no clue what Orient was or anything. And I picked this thing up for like 20 quid online. Now I know that Orient's a pretty serious company, so this is probably as genuine as a Nigerian Rolex. If that's the case though, I don't want to know. All I know is I just bought it because it looked nice, okay? So I'm calling it the Orient whatever, and here it is. It's green. It's the colour that attracts wealth, and isn't it just a little beauty? And it is, I think, yeah, it's battery powered. Nothing special actually, but it just looks really nice, and it's unusual, you know. So that would be our next one, and I've only got 2 more to go, folks. 2 more to go. Now here comes the red hot favourite, the one that I wear more than any other, and of course it's another little homage thing. Watch number 9 is, and this is the red hot favourite, it's the Tactical Frog. This is another little homage of a Tudor FXD. Now, you can pick these up for about 130 quid, I think. And it's titanium. I wear it all the time. And it's absolutely brilliant. The lume is like a torch. I mean, at night, you can light up the room. And it just goes all night. It must be radioactive or something. Fully titanium. Solid as a rock. The only watch in my collection that you could use as a weapon if push came to shove. It doesn't have a date window or anything and that's something that I quite like. The colour, I've described it before as Han Solo blue. So you remember in Empire Strikes Back, Han Solo wore this coat on the planet Hoth, and it was this sort of colour. Incidentally, the real Tudor that this is based off of is a more cartoonish blue, and I actually prefer this one. It's true. It's true. So this is it, solid as a rock. And the only other thing I'd say about this is it's everything that you wanted this to be. You know how when, like, James Bond wears a Submariner, which obviously this is not, but he can wear it with a tuxedo and it just doesn't work. Well, this here, let me tell you folks, this works with anything. Absolutely anything. It's quite remarkable. I'll prove it. So if I Just give this a little whack. And as a serious statement, the only thing that put me off getting the real one would be the colour. I prefer the colour of this one. I like my Han Solo blue, you know. But check this out. It just goes with anything. Oh, hi. Hey, you wee guys, hit the bricks. Yes, I shall. I shall take the whole company. Nice idea. Oh, so you're a YouTuber? That's a shame. See, kind of goes with it with anything. And I really, really like it for that. It does get a wee bit of boredom factor though after a while. Maybe it's because I've just worn it so much. But that would be watch number 9. And now the final watch of the bunch, which is a very unusual one. I'm sure it's another homage, but I just don't know what it's a homage of. All I know is I like it. I like it, you know. And it's this little beauty here. This is I think it's a Pagani. And I know that some of you are looking down your nose right now. And to anyone who is, well, go work 5 years on an open source project and then we'll talk about what watches you've got, you know. But are we going to have a focus here? Come on. Are we? Let's do this. Here we go. It's a little two-tone beauty. We've got a sort of brass or rose gold effect on the outside. Oh man, my focus is not working. We've got a sort of brass rose gold on the outside, little tiny date wheel at the 3 o'clock position, and I think they call them sword hands, leather strap, and it is automatic. So that one is indeed a Pagani. It's quite dressy though, you know. But nevertheless, I thought it might be worth wheeling out as a potential. So we'll call that watch number 10. It's the last on the list. And if we give it a quick try on for you, here it is here. It's definitely leaning towards the dressy side of things. And I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But that, my friend, is all of the watches. So we've got 4 more to do. And then it's the final watch. So here is a reminder of the last 4. We have watch number 1 second. I got my numbers mixed up. I think I've got 12 watches here. That's right. So that means that this would be 6, 7, 8. This is watch number 9. This is watch number 9. So it's the Rolex Explorer Homage. I will chuck this onto the poll here. It's watch 9, the Rolex Explorer Homage. I'm just going to say, oh gee, I can't type here. Explorer, I'll do a big old capital H because I'm acknowledging that it's not the real thing. Then we're going to have the green Orient, which may or may not even be genuine. Then we're going to have the Tactical Frog Tudor FX D Homage. And finally, we're going to have, is that Certi there? I don't know. I thought he had the name of the watch there. It's the Pagani two-tone. I hope my spelling's okay. Probably not. Right, that's the poll. That is the poll, and this is to see who goes through to the final. So it's these 4 here, right here. And we've got this little beauty here. We've got the fabulous, I do think this would be good for a night on the casino, you know. Then we've got our Tactical Frog, probably the most worn of all of these. And finally, this little two-tone number here. I don't even know if that's supposed to be brass or rose gold, but I kind of like it, you know. It's just nice. So that's the choices. Let me know what you think. And who shall be joining our finalists here All right, so this one's a wee bit closer. So it wouldn't be a bad thing if we could have some votes here, folks. Let's see what we got. Who is going to be joining this? So it looks like it's between the Explorer and the Green Orient. That is a surprise. Wow, that's a real surprise, right? Okay. Now, was it Certi says, who was it? Somebody said they like the thing. Anyway, if you like it, vote on it. Do me a favour, you know. Well, I am going to declare a winner here, and it's a surprise result. I'm hugely surprised at that result. It's the Explorer homage. Who would have thought it, with the Orient in second place? That is incredible. Well, thank you, and I shall respect the will of the vote. The two-tone will clash with your hair. Well, it's funny, you know. Only within the last 6 months, people have been calling me ginger. I'll tell you a funny thing about people with ginger hair. I heard a statistic. I don't know if it's true, but I heard somewhere that 97% of people are disgusted by folks who have ginger hair. It's about 97%. But 3% go positively crazy for it. They love it. They can't get enough of it. They see ginger hair and, you know, gonna have to put dudes like me in a cage to keep me safe. So naturally, I am appealing to the 3% here. Anyway, here are the finalists, folks, and thank you for your votes. One of these is going to be the Holiday Watch, and here they are in all their glory. We have the Citizen Chandler, extremely boring. Nobody's going to be impressed by that. You will look like a tosser with a struggling YouTube channel for sure. But it does have a certain honesty to it. It's as reliable as you get. Solar powered. We've got the date and the day and everything. Look at that, Tuesday, see? So that is finalist number 1. I do like it, actually. I do like it. And by the way, I saw Gordon Ramsay wearing a watch very similar to this. I think his was an IWC though. Finalist number 2. This one is not a surprise. I thought this might make the final. It's the Proxima. Proxima are, of course, an English company, but I think their stuff's manufactured in China. But it's the very compact diver, extremely well made. Look, give it up, all of you watch snobs. I'm telling you, I will take the Pepsi challenge with this and anything you've got. It's really, really well made. It reminds me of one of the white Explorers, but it's a little bit different. The bezel is sort of tight, but good. Unidirectional. Very, very nice. We've got a little date there. Super thin, which is really unusual. I haven't measured it, but I'd be surprised if it was any more than 12 millimeters. And that would be finalist number 2. Finalist number 3. And here it is. And it's a surprise finalist. I didn't think you'd vote it. But you have said the Cadison Rolex Explorer homage. And here it is here in all of its glory. On the statistics front, this one has everything going for it. It is fully automatic. The finishing and all of that is spot on. It has, has the Cadison logo. It's not a replica or a fake or anything. It's perfectly legal, don't you know? And it gives you that clarity factor. It is a wee bit heavy though. I have to say, my hand's getting tired just holding it out here. But nevertheless, that was the finalist that you chose. So here are the 3 finalists. And I am going to be wearing one of these for the next week. What shall it be? Well, let's have the vote. And let's see what we got here. So, I'm just going to type this out. And please do vote, won't you? Grand final. So, it's going to be the Citizen Chandler. In second place, it's the... it's the Proxima dive watch. I suppose you could call it a sort of compact dive watch. And then next we've got the Explorer. I should put the name in. The Cadison Explorer. I actually don't know how to spell homage. One moment. Oh, there's only one E, right? Okay. There's only one E. All right, so that's the three, and start voting now. I'm counting on you not to let me down. We have some good watch experts there, maybe family. I don't want to make a fool of myself when I go over here, you know. Help me out, folks. Help me out, won't you? And it's here's our three finalists here. We have this little beauty here. Yep. I do like it. I don't know if it suits me though, you know. We have this little beauty here, the Proxima. Here they are side by side. Both quite small. That's about a 38. I don't know about this. Maybe it's a 39. I don't know. And then we've got the Explorer Homage, and I'm pretty sure this is a 40. Okay, so that is our finalists. What's it gonna be? Don't You Let Me Down. Oh, Don't You Let Me Down. All right, let's see what you got, folks. Let's see what you got. It is... Well, I am incredibly surprised at the result there. It's not the one that I would have chosen. But the winner with... Shall I wait one more minute? I think everybody's voted. Well, I think everybody has just about voted. And the winner and the official holiday watch of 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, please, for the Cadison Explorer Homage. This is the holiday watch, and you have spoken. I would never have chosen that one, but that's the one that you went for. Very, very interesting. So that's it. I appreciate that a whole bunch. This is now going to be going on for 1 week. I'll just set my alarm here. I have to go and drop Coco off. My brother's looking after her, and I have to find my passport and stuff like that. But for now, let me just set this thing. I'll let you know how it goes. And the main thing is, folks, remember, when you go on holiday, only one watch. That's the tradition. That's the tradition. And DC has spoken. All right, so here we go. This is going to be great. Whole week with one of these, you know. Okay, here we go. So that's kind of cool. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. All right. I don't like them too tight. This is just about perfect. That is really, really great. You can see we've got it sort of brushed on the sides there, but polished in the middle. Very, very nice. Hi. Hi, how you do? Oh, hi. Hi, nice to meet you. Oh, could we sit over here or here? Oh, is that the plane? Late again? Ah, that's British Airways for you. They're never on time. Anyway, there it is, folks. You have spoken. Thank you very much, and I really, really appreciate it. Now, just a couple of other things before I go. I can see that a few people had... well, first of all, I'm not planning on turning this into a watch channel. This is a very special event. I'm only in the business of establishing traditions. The holiday watch, one watch, is hereby declared a tradition. But I don't have any plans of starting a watch channel or anything like that. I spoke about some watch drama shenanigans on Saturday there. when I spoke about all of that nonsense, I knew that there was a chance that people would be copying what I was saying, recording it, and uploading it to other channels. I knew that pretty much. But that's actually okay, you know. In fact, just to show you how cool I am, you know. I generally don't mind stuff like that as long as there's no malicious intent. So this is my YouTube channel here. These are all people who have copied my content, build an online shop and so on. And you get these notifications come in. And here we've got one here, Archie and DC thing, Rodent. And, you know, he's chucked up a video of me or whatever. But I'm not going to, you know, I'm 2 clicks away from having the thing taken down. But I'm not going to do that. It's absolutely fine. And I'll tell you something else. I don't think I'm going to be appearing on any more clicks or any more clips even. Unless they're really, really desperate for content, which I don't think they are. That whole process, talking about that rubbish, it really was, how can I put this? For me, it was just closure, you know? It was like all of that garbage happened about 6 months ago, and I just wanted to draw a line under that, you know, and laugh at it. And it felt good, you know. Pardon me. I haven't got anything more to add. There's really nothing else. And I did have a good laugh, and it was nice getting all of that out of the system and everything. I was okay with, you know, my stuff. I sort of knew it was going to get clipped and used here, there and everywhere, but I was grateful that Rodent had referred to me as DC, which most of my friends call me anyway. It gives me a little bit of a chance of being employable, you know. So that was a nice gesture. And as far as I'm concerned, actually, I don't, no offence, but I don't have time to watch 4-hour watch live streams or anything. So from my own perspective, channels like Rodent, Docs Report, of course, they are providing a service for us, at least as far as I can tell. It's almost like a catch-up service, you know, so you can see, oh, what are those guys up to, and they'll do little clips and all that. So absolutely no problem at all. And for anyone who is entangled in any online shenanigans with anyone, any hostilities or anything, I'm going to give you a couple of words of advice that were really helpful for me, because social media can be vicious, right? So I'll give you a few little words of advice, and that will truly be the end of it. The first thing I can tell you, and this is a personal thing, but I was really glad, even through the worst of it, I was really glad that I had used my real name, you know? And again, I know it's not for everybody, but when you look at the watch community, think about the people who have been around for a long time and the people who just seem to keep on going. You will find that most of them use their real names. You know, Oisin. Now, of course, we've got Archie Luxury, but everybody knows his real name's Paul, right? You know, choose your watch channel. And if you look at Paul Thorpe, there's another one. These are all people who use their real names. Now, some of them use a username, but they're not really hiding their real name. I obviously use my real name completely. And as strange as it may seem, I found myself kind of saying, I'm so glad that I did that, because there's a lot of people out there who are terrified. Like, what if they find my name? I've felt this before, you know. I've had one friend who got into an argument in an online discussion forum with some football fans. And he says, you won't believe it, they found out my name, as if it was the scariest thing in the universe, you know. If I had been on here with, you know, the Nighthawk channel, let's say, I would have had this spectre hanging over me of what if they find out your name, you know? And so one thing I can tell you, it's an entirely personal thing, but I am so glad that I present myself with my real name. It's one of the things that I think I got right, you know? Now, please don't post videos and use my full name. I'd be very grateful if you could refer to me as DC. Nevertheless, everybody knows who I am. Everybody knows where I live. I've had one or two people even come in and sit here. I'm very easy to find, and I think that's a good thing. I do think that's a good thing. I'll give you a couple of other things that helped me through all of that stuff, and maybe this will be helpful for somebody else. Strangely enough, the Rodent 100 channel was hugely therapeutic for me, because I found myself watching this channel with little clips of people arguing, and it sounded quite vicious. And then there was a moment about a week ago when it just hit me, and it's so obvious now that you're all going to laugh, but it just suddenly hit me that these are all friends. There's no hatred here at all. None of it's genuine. It's the little soap opera for grown men, and they actually like each other. And the moment I realised that, suddenly the whole thing diffused, you know. I can tell you that, oh, well, I'm not going to tell you that. No, I was going to just say that I think that it's the game is sort of a dangerous game, you know. I would not, like, I listened into a bit of a live stream the other night where the same gentleman who had a little misalignment of wavelength with me, I caught a clip on a live stream where he was saying to somebody, I'm going to come on the plane tomorrow and I'm going to come and get you. And I found myself watching that, and I was thinking to myself, like, two things. First of all, I was thinking, I'm glad he's not saying that to me, because that would have been an unpleasant thing. I don't know how I would have reacted. That would have been a challenge, you know. So I remember kind of saying, well, I'm glad I'm not in the firing line. And the other thing I remember thinking to myself is, and again, I say it with love in my heart and no intimidation factor or anything like that, but some of you people, I assume you must be different from the type of people I've met, because some of the people I've met, clearly not me, I'm just an IT guy, but you don't say, I mean, I can think of some of the circles I've been in. If you say on a phone, I'm coming there tomorrow, that's somebody going to die, you know. It's incredibly dangerous to conduct yourself in that manner. And of course, there's never any danger from me. I'm a little short IT guy. But I do think it's a dangerous game. And strangely enough, I have to say, bizarrely, I feel as if Rodent 100 and people like that, even Docs Report, in a sense, they are providing a service, because they sort of keep people in check, you know, and be careful, because, you know, I'm as mild as a kitten, but it's a very dangerous game to go on and say, I'm going to get on a plane, I'm going to get you tomorrow. Just something to keep in mind. The final thing I'm going to say is I nail down the coffin and never discuss any of that rubbish again. The very, very final thing that I'm going to say is that for me, there was a couple of turning points, but one of the big turning points was quite early on. I had, for anyone who doesn't know, I got invited onto this watch show and it all went completely nuclear. Now, nuclear from my own perspective, I think everybody was just laughing, but I didn't know. And there was a solid 2 or 3 days where I felt as if I was in danger. You know, I mean, I'm just being honest. And again, maybe it's just I've been around some funny people. But there was a solid 2 or 3 days where I felt as if I was in danger, and it was not pleasant. And I did a lot of visualization exercises in terms of what's going to happen if I meet him. Am I going to fight him? Will we live stream it? Will we get a referee. Like, how's this going to work? I mean, I was really, really gearing up for this stuff. And then I kind of calmed down from that and I'm saying, well, that's ridiculous. And then eventually, after about 3 days of running it through my mind, eventually my mind came up with this beautiful idea out of nowhere. And the idea that my mind came up with was apologise. And of course, the intelligent part of me and the egotistical part of me is like, well, apologise for what, you know? I mean, I never pretended to be all friendly and then crept off and went, oh, I hate him. That was not me. But then, as I thought about it, I thought, well, hang on a minute. Let's be intelligent about this here. If somebody is reacting like that towards me, I've clearly said or done something to upset them. I might not know what it is, but clearly I've said or done something that's made them feel terrible, and I should apologise. And so I had this thought in my head, okay, and then this little thing grew. And then I remember I was doing a live stream about a month ago, and he came on and says, hey, you or whatever. And I just says, he said, you were trying to intimidate me or something. And I said, I apologise, you know. And I remember somebody said in private, so how do you feel about that? And I says, well, I apologise to the guy, you know, I really do. And so I apologised in public and I apologised in private. And then I started thinking, if he did come, like, I know it's crazy, if he comes through the door, what am I going to do? And as I start running through all of these scenarios, everything just leads to, I apologise, because that's it. And then it's like, what if he's attacking me and he's strangling me? I apologise. What if he kills me? What if he's dancing over my body and I'm dying? I apologise. And the moment that happened, and I realised that, and I made peace with that, you know, the moment that happened, because, you know, it's all very well to say, I'm going to take you to the cleaners, but what's the end game? Are you going to leave somebody on a pavement or something? Let's think about the end game and let's be intelligent. And I realised that I have to apologise even in death, because the alternative to apologising is horrible. You know what I mean? And so the moment that I realised that and effectively just buried my ego, you know, then suddenly everything was cool. So for anyone who's facing conflicts or anything online, for anyone who's facing any aggravation, you'll probably find that a lot of it is just egos, you know, people's stupid egos. And the person who buries their ego and just says, look, it's fine, don't worry about it, you know. Ultimately, everybody has their own challenges in life. You know, people may look different and dress different and behave different, but clearly there are circumstances that lead to that type of behaviour. And if we can be sympathetic to that, I don't know, man, I don't want to be Tony Robbins here, but for me, that was a breakthrough, you know, that was a breakthrough. And I sort of made peace with it. And I'm just like, okay, whatever happens. And this was like 6 months ago. It's old news. But I remember just like, no, I'm going to apologise. He can kill me. Anybody can, it's fine. And that was that, you know. So that truly is the last thing. Teen Ticker says, you're in denial, David. You run a watch channel. Thank you. I don't think so. What else have we got here? Bootstrapping not working. I'll look at it when I come back, and I do apologise. Certi says, David, I hope you do more of these kinds of shows. I don't know what I'm going to do, Certi. I've got a funny feeling that I might be finishing up, and I'm not just saying that, but I'm involved in an industry that is pretty much on its ass, IT, you know, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't know what I'm going to do. I'm definitely not going to be a participant of the Archieverse. I hope that they'll consider me a friend of the channel, but I have no plans on going on or anything like that. I'm done. There's nothing else, you know. Okay. Plotting an escape. DC, if you get a second monitor and keep the chat on the screen and don't get 50,000, I'll refund your monitor purchase. You need to keep chat interactive and it will grow fast. Well, I would love to. I've only got one monitor here and a little Mac Mini, in case you're wondering. I would quite like to get the StreamYard thing open so that I can talk to you folks. That would be kind of cool. Maybe I can do that in the future. It would be kind of nice. But I'm definitely, I'm delighted to talk to people. Anyone, actually. And that reminds me, one of the reasons why I spoke about this horse shit on Saturday was because I banned about 300 people from the channel, you know, and I think it offended a few people because there had been people who had donated and everything, and I'm just like, oh, you're a watch community, oh, you're from the watch people, right? Okay, delete or hide user from channel, and I think I offended a lot of people, so I felt as if I owed it to the universe to come on and explain myself, you know. All of those mass bannings were never anything personal. I was never saying, oh, that person. It was just, I mean, if I look at my live stream, I've got 12 people in here, and that's cool. I'm comfortable with that, you know. And that day when I headed on and there was like 300 and odd people, I think it was 333, I was just freaking out. I was like, I don't want 333 people. I am out of this. And I was just delete, hide, you know. So anyway, now at least you know what happened. I don't see me talking about watches much more. I mean, I like them. I wear watches and stuff, but I haven't got much to say. I've never spent more than 450 quid on a watch. I think watches are good, but I don't look at them the same way that you folks do. To me, a watch is like a lightsaber, you know? And Darth Vader has a red lightsaber, and it fits in with his vibrational energy, you know? And I think that you can find a watch that fits in with your vibrational energy. And if you do that, magical things can happen. That's the theory anyway. Folks, it has been a pleasure and a privilege. I'm going to have to go find my passport now and hit the road. Plotting an escape. Have a go at creating podcast service. I don't know, honestly. I'm really not that interesting, and I'm not looking for compliments or anything, but I just don't see anything in it, you know. I like to code, and I'm good at coding, but that's about it, you know. And if he's still around, a huge thanks to Docs Report for putting up with all of my bullshit. I'll leave you with a final comment about Docs Report. You know, in my mind, there are 3 versions of Docs Report who, through no fault of his own, ended up at the centre of the heat ray. There are 3 versions of Docs Report. The first is an 18-year-old dark web hacker genius from Russia, whose name is probably Sergei, and who's a pretty terrifying character. The second version of Docs Report is a guy who's sort of like the Gus Fring of the watch world. Somebody who sees everything. And in spite of the friendly demeanour, you definitely do not want to mess with that character. And the final version of Docs Report is a really nice guy who runs an excellent channel with unique and informative content relating to the watch community. Those are the 3 versions. Which one is the real Docs Report? You choose. But I've made my mind up. I think it's version 2. So thank you very much indeed for watching, folks. It has been a pleasure and a privilege. I hope you all have a wonderful week and all of that. Stay cool. And I'll see you soon. Ding, 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 ding. Cheers. Oh, thanks again. Thank you. This is my watch for the next week. Thank you so much, folks. Cheerio. Goodbye. Goodbye. All right.